My name is Polly Romine. I am going to go over the federal billing ledger. This ledger is found in the file section of your grant. We are going to start with the budget and balance tab. You'll see that this budget and balance tab is locked, and if you try to click in here, you'll get an error. These boxes are locked to preserve your budget and the information that is in here. If your budget is different or should be different than the information that's in here, then that means you need to talk to your grant analyst and or possibly do an amendment. If you're getting ready to bill, make sure you do an amendment first. At the top of this tab, you're going to see your agency name and you're going to see your grant number. This is one of the easiest, fastest ways to find your grant number. It's going to be on your ledger. You're going to see all sorts of information for your grant, all the fringe benefits and all of the budget categories. Once you have begun to bill, these remaining boxes are going to be interesting and helpful for you because you'll be able to see what is left in your grant to be able to bill. The other place of interest on this tab is this yellow box, the remaining budget balance salary. This will start depleting as you bill every quarter. And at the end of the year, it will show your deobligation amount. This tab and this box is important. You will, as you bill, you'll probably realize maybe that your grant analyst will ask you to submit a ledger for your next billing month or quarter based on the ledger that was submitted with the previous payment. We need each quarter or each month to be correct and built on the last correct month or quarter because we want these numbers to be correct, match the system, so that at the end of the year, it's super easy to figure out what's left, what's your deobligation, or at the end of the year for you guys to know, okay, cool, I've got this much left to bill. So your grant analyst might say to you, I need you to send me a ledger that matches your last quarter payments or your last month payments. That's why that's important. We're going to go to the first tab, quarter one. You're going to see some light blue boxes. These boxes are where you're going to enter data. If I try to click in any of these white boxes, they don't allow for data to be entered. All right, so we're going to start with quarterly agency gross pay. This amount is the total amount that your agency has paid on behalf of this employee, regardless of funding source. So this amount, most agencies pay their employees by hours. For salary, it's hopefully a lot easier to figure out salary. You should know how much you're going to be making per quarter or for a month. But for hourly employees, it's a little bit harder. If you're a full-time employee, this amount, if you're billing quarterly, will be $480 or $560 generally. $480 and $560 is because there are 2 quarters of the year that are smaller than the other 2 quarters. So it goes $480, $560, $480, $560, vice versa. It can go $560, $480. It just depends on how your agency bills. But there will be 2 smaller quarters and 2 larger quarters. All of those hours add up to 2080 hours, which is 40 hours, which is full time. So this amount, the easiest way to figure it out is if you're full time, is it's $480 or $560 times your hourly wage. Yes, we want the whole total agency salary. This is important to get these percentages. The percentages are important because it helps us to correctly bill fringe, and it also helps us correctly report statistics. So we only want statistics, and we only want you to bill fringe dollars for the amount that was worked on the grant. So those reasons are important. to get this percent, and we need that percent. We need to know how much your agency paid out on these employees' behalf for the whole quarter or the whole month. Okay, so once I have that quarterly total gross pay in here, and I also know how many hours were worked on the grant, so you're going to get that information. You're going to probably need finance or HR to help you. You can get the information from paycheck stubs. You're also going to get information from your timesheets. So I know that overall there are 480 hours worked. That's the gross total agency amount. And then I know 171 hours for each employee was worked on the grant. So if only 171 hours were worked on the grant, then I'm going to times that by their hourly wage and get the amount. And you'll notice when I put in the amount, it auto-populates the percentage. We're hoping this new feature is a lot easier and it helps agencies know, you'll see in just a minute on Fringe, how much to bill. You'll see that I put notes in these boxes. Remember that in Excel, to go to the next row, you can't just hit enter, you have to hit Alt Enter. So little Excel trick right there. We do want notes in these boxes. These notes help you, they help the auditor, they help your grant analyst, they help future people in your agency. So if somebody has to take a leave of absence or somebody leaves, if somebody new comes in and looks at this, they know what was going on and why. So these notes, we're going to ask that you put notes in the boxes. You see that there's boxes for all funding sources, but this grant does not have any match in it. So I have put in, I'm pretending that the quarterly agency total benefits paid were $5,000. This grant funded percent right here is the same amount that's up here. So that populates super easy for us. We do not want this percent to be more than this amount right here. And you'll notice when I put in this percent, it's going to auto-populate a dollar amount. This is the up to eligible or allowable dollar amount that you can bill for Fringe. So for each of these 171 hours worked on the grant, there's a personnel dollar and there's a Fringe dollar, and those personnel and Fringe dollars, those 171 personnel and Fringe dollars go together and stay together. So we don't want to bill more Fringe than what was hours worked. So we can bill up to this amount, we just can't bill over it. So say I only want to bill $1,500, which is just fine. I don't know why agencies would need to do that, but sometimes they do. Just know you can bill up to this amount. You just don't bill over. Okay, so I put notes in. All right. So now that the ledger, let's pretend that I filled out the ledger and I put notes in, I put totals in. We're getting ready to save it. We're going to save this file and we're going to download it or save it wherever is easy for you to find it, because we are going to attach it to your payment request. If you need to put in some extra notes about, say you did an audit payment or anything else that seems relevant, put in some notes. We're going to put in that I prepared this ledger, my title, the date, a way to get a hold of me. And believe you me, sometimes we have questions and we need to ask you. So make sure you're filling out this bottom box. Oh, if you have indirect, you are going to fill out this indirect amount yourself. So if we have billed 13, we're going to say that so far $13,240 and 16 cents is our total amount. I'm going to go in and I'm going to put in 10% down here. and enter that amount in on my own. The ledger does not do that for us anymore. We were having a penny issue. So you make sure that you are adding in your indirect on your own if you have indirect. If you don't have indirect, then you really don't even understand what that means, and that is a-okay. So just make sure you're doing that as well. Make sure that all of your amounts are correct. This top box is going to tell you all of these amounts that are pulling up into these top boxes. This is the information that we are going to use to fill out your payment request. All right, I'm going to save this and do a payment request next.